Once upon a time, in the grand kingdom of Althea, there was a beautiful princess named Angie. On her 16th birthday, her father, King Basil, gifted her a magnificent necklace made of rare diamonds and enchanted stones. It was a symbol of her royal status, and she wore it every day, never taking it off. The kingdom flourished, and Angie's beauty and kindness were loved by all. However, as the years passed, a shadow loomed over the peaceful land, for an evil sorcerer named Malga had begun plotting to overthrow the kingdom. Angie, despite her royal duties, spent much of her time helping the people of the kingdom, bringing them hope and joy. She had a deep sense of loyalty to her people, and they adored her for it. One day, while wandering through the forest with her trusted servant, Ella, the princess noticed something strange. The necklace, which had always shimmered brightly, began to lose its glow. As she tried to adjust it, the clasp snapped, sending the precious stones tumbling onto the ground. Angie was devastated, unaware that the necklace's enchantment was tied to the kingdom's safety. The night after the necklace broke, an old woman appeared at the palace gates. She claimed to be a seer and had a prophecy to share. "The kingdom's fate is tied to the broken necklace," she said, her voice trembling. "A great danger approaches, and only the fragments of the necklace can protect you. The necklace must be mended, but not in the way you think." The king dismissed the woman as a mere beggar, but Angie felt a strange pull in her heart, believing there was truth to her words. The next morning, Angie sought out the seer, who led her to the forest where the necklace had broken. The woman revealed that each fragment of the necklace held a piece of an ancient spell that could summon a powerful shield to protect the kingdom. But the spell could only be completed if the fragments were reunited by someone pure of heart and willing to sacrifice something dear. Angie understood that the journey ahead would be dangerous, and she would have to face many trials. However, she felt determined to save her kingdom, even if it meant losing something precious. As Angie ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered the first of the 3 trials set by the broken necklace. A large, terrifying serpent appeared, blocking her path. The serpent spoke in a voice that echoed through the trees, "Only those who show true courage may pass. Defeat me, or turn back." Angie's heart raced as she realized that if she didn't defeat the serpent, she wouldn't be able to continue her journey. Drawing her courage from within, Angie stepped forward, knowing that violence wasn't the answer. Instead of attacking, she began to speak to the serpent, asking why it guarded the path. To her surprise, the serpent explained that it was bound to protect the kingdom from evil but had grown weary of its endless task. Angie, understanding the serpent's pain, promised to find a way to break the curse if she succeeded in saving the kingdom. Moved by her words, the serpent allowed her to pass, granting her the first fragment of the necklace. The next trial took Angie to a dark and cold cave, where she encountered a trapped bird with a broken wing. The bird cried for help, and Angie immediately approached it. However, as she reached out, the cave's walls began to close in on her, trapping her inside. A voice echoed in the darkness, "To escape, you must make a sacrifice. Save the bird, or save yourself." Angie knew that to help the bird would mean risking her own life. Angie thought for a moment, then gently scooped up the bird and whispered, "You are not alone, little one." She held it close, trusting that the kingdom needed her more than ever. With her compassion guiding her, the walls of the cave stopped closing, and a hidden path revealed itself. The bird's wing healed instantly, and it gifted her the second fragment of the necklace. Angie realized that the more she gave, the more strength she gained, a lesson she would carry with her on the next part of her journey. The third and final trial brought Angie to a village she did not recognize. There, a young man named Darian approached her, offering to help her complete the necklace. He claimed to be a prince from a neighboring kingdom, sent to assist in her quest. Angie, trusting in his kindness, agreed to join forces with him. For many days, they traveled together, and Darian proved to be a loyal companion, guiding her through dangerous forests and across wild rivers. But as they neared the final piece of the necklace, Angie began to sense something was wrong. Darian's kindness started to feel insincere, and she noticed how he seemed more interested in the necklace fragments than in the journey itself. One night, when they were camping, Angie overheard Darian speaking to a shadowy figure, plotting to steal the necklace for himself. Shocked, she realized that Darian was not a prince but a spy for Malga, sent to deceive her. The next morning, Darian confronted Angie, revealing his true intentions. He tried to grab the necklace fragments, but Angie stood firm, holding them tightly in her hands. "You are not worthy of these," she said, her voice steady with determination. The two struggled, and in the chaos, the necklace fragments scattered across the ground. Darian fled, leaving Angie alone once more. It was at that moment that Angie realized the final piece of the necklace was not just a fragment, but a part of her heart, the very essence of her love for her people. As she stood among the scattered fragments, Angie felt a surge of emotion. Her desire to protect the kingdom was stronger than ever. She picked up the final piece, placing it against her chest, and felt an ancient magic stir within her. The necklace reformed, glowing brighter than ever, and the pieces came together, binding her fate with the kingdom's. Angie knew that the power of the necklace wasn't in the jewels, but in the love and sacrifice that came from within. With the necklace fully restored, Angie set off toward Malga's lair. She had learned that the greatest power was not in weapons or magic but in the purity of her heart and her commitment to the people she loved. When she arrived, she found Malga waiting, his dark magic swirling around him. "So, you think your necklace can save you?" he sneered, his eyes glowing with malice. Angie didn't answer but stepped forward, the necklace glowing with an intense light. Malga unleashed a wave of dark energy, but Angie stood her ground. The necklace responded to her courage, creating a protective shield around her. She wasn't just protected by the magic, she was protected by the strength of her love and resolve. Malga's attacks grew weaker, and the darkness began to fade. In the final moment, Angie focused all her energy on the necklace, calling upon the power of the kingdom's people. The necklace, now a symbol of unity, shattered Malga's magic, banishing him from the kingdom forever. With Malga defeated, Angie returned to the palace, where the people greeted her with cheers and celebrations. The kingdom had been saved, not by the necklace alone, but by the courage, compassion, and sacrifices she had made along the way. Angie had learned that the true strength of a leader comes from their heart, and that love for the people they serve can overcome any obstacle. King Basil, proud of his daughter, knelt before her, recognizing her wisdom and bravery. As Angie looked out over her kingdom, she knew that her journey had only just begun. She would rule not as a figurehead, but as a leader who understood the power of sacrifice and selflessness. The broken necklace had not only saved the kingdom but had transformed her into the queen the land had always needed. It was a reminder that even in the most broken things, there can be beauty, strength, and hope. Angie, now a queen, walked through the village, receiving gifts and words of thanks from the people she had always cared for. The elders told stories of how the necklace had been more than a symbol of royalty, it had been a sign that the kingdom's true strength was in the hearts of its people. The queen smiled, knowing that her journey had changed not just her, but everyone around her. One elderly woman handed Angie a small, intricately carved wooden pendant. "This is for you, my queen," she said. "It's a reminder that we, too, are part of the necklace. The strength of this kingdom lies in each and every one of us." Angie accepted the gift with a grateful heart, knowing that her connection to the kingdom would never be broken. Years passed, and Queen Angie continued to rule with wisdom and kindness. The memory of the broken necklace lived on in the hearts of the people. A statue of the queen stood at the kingdom's center, holding the restored necklace high, its glow a symbol of the unity and love that had saved the land. Children played in the streets, telling stories of the brave princess who had fought for them, and they wore small wooden pendants to remember the lessons of courage, compassion, and sacrifice. Angie would often walk through the village, listening to the laughter of children and feeling the warmth of her people. She knew that the kingdom's peace and prosperity came not from her title, but from the hearts of those who believed in her vision of unity. The necklace had been a catalyst, but it was the kingdom's shared values, honor, love, and sacrifice, that had truly saved them. One cold winter's evening, a messenger arrived with troubling news. A distant kingdom, once a peaceful ally, had fallen into darkness. The ruler, a cruel and power-hungry monarch named Queen Molina, was threatening to invade Althea. She had heard of Angie's success in defeating Malga and wanted to challenge her power. Angie's heart sank as she realized that the harmony she had worked so hard to build was now at risk once again. Angie gathered her council, and they discussed their options. It was clear that Althea needed to defend itself, but Angie knew that war could destroy the very values she had fought to preserve. Instead of focusing solely on strength, Angie decided to seek a peaceful resolution. She would try diplomacy first, but she would also prepare her people for anything that might come. With resolve, Queen Angie embarked on a diplomatic journey to meet Queen Molina. She traveled alone, carrying only the broken necklace as a reminder of the sacrifices it had symbolized. As she entered the rival kingdom, she was met with suspicion and coldness. Queen Molina sat on a dark throne, surrounded by guards, her eyes sharp and calculating. Angie, undeterred, spoke calmly, offering peace and the possibility of a union between their two kingdoms. But Queen Molina scoffed at Angie's words, mocking her for thinking that kindness could conquer strength. "You are naive, Angie," she hissed, her voice dripping with venom. "You only have your necklace to protect you, and I can see it's no longer as powerful as it once was." Angie's heart grew heavy as she realized that Molina sought domination, not peace, and the road to diplomacy would be harder than she had imagined. As tensions grew, Angie returned to Althea and began to prepare her people for possible battle. However, she still held on to hope that Molina would reconsider. One night, as she reflected on the necklace and the lessons it had taught her, she realized that she had one last trial to face, not of strength, but of wisdom. She had already proven herself as a leader of courage, compassion, and sacrifice. Now, she needed to show the world the true power of the necklace, its ability to unite and heal, even in the darkest of times. In a final act of faith, Angie sent Molina a personal message, inviting her to a peaceful meeting once again, but this time, under the stars. With no armies, no weapons, and no guards, just the two queens, standing alone in the moonlight. Angie would place everything she had learned into this moment, trusting that kindness and understanding could break through Molina's hardened heart. The night of the meeting arrived, and as Angie walked into the peaceful clearing where the two queens would meet, she felt an overwhelming sense of calm. Queen Molina, standing across from her, looked suspicious but also curious. The moonlight illuminated the shattered fragments of Angie's necklace, still glowing faintly. They spoke of their kingdoms, their dreams, and their fears. Angie, with compassion in her voice, gently placed the fragments of her necklace on the ground between them. "This necklace once represented a kingdom's strength," she said, "but it is not the jewels or the magic that gave it power. It was the love and sacrifices of those who believed in it. If we could unite our people, we could achieve greater peace than we could alone." Molina, silent for a moment, looked at the fragments of the necklace. Something inside her seemed to shift. Finally, she spoke, "Perhaps you are right. I have been so consumed by power that I have forgotten the strength of my people." Slowly, she took a step forward, and for the first time, her eyes softened. The two queens shook hands, sealing the peace between their kingdoms. Word spread quickly, and the people rejoiced as the threat of war was averted. Angie's kingdom, Althea, and Molina's kingdom united, creating a stronger, more harmonious alliance. Angie returned home, knowing that the necklace, though broken, had guided her to something far greater than she had ever imagined. It had shown her that true power lies in unity, compassion, and the willingness to understand one another. The people of both kingdoms celebrated not only their queens but the lessons they had learned. Angie hung the restored necklace in the castle's great hall, where it would forever serve as a reminder of the sacrifices and triumphs that had brought them together. The once broken necklace had saved not just a kingdom, but the hearts of those who believed in its power. And so, peace reigned, as the kingdoms flourished, and the story of the broken necklace passed down through generations as a timeless lesson on the strength of love, unity, and the courage to change. True strength lies not in the jewels or power we hold, but in the compassion, sacrifice, and unity we offer to others. When we come together with an open heart, we can overcome even the greatest of challenges.